Can you believe that a flat piece of paper can turn into a pretty lily like this one? Today I will be telling you about the meaning and history of origami, my favorite origami website, the materials and tools used to do it, the different types of origami, and then I will make something for you. And to understand what origami is, it's important to look at what I have now, which is a bunch of folded paper. There's plenty of history to origami, but I'm only going to cover a very small amount. Ori means folding, and kami means paper. Kami changes to gami due to rendaku, which is how we get the word origami. Origami started in the 17th century AD at the latest, and it usually is done with very few basic folds. Those basic folds can be used for many different designs now. There are lots of websites and books that can be used to do origami if you don't know how to do anything. There's one that I've liked actually for a very long time now. It's www.en.origami-club.com. This website has a lot of different kind of origami on it. Not just the simple kinds, it also has very difficult kinds. And it also uses a lot of the different forms of origami. And though it shows you the different types of designs that you can make, it doesn't exactly go into what kind of materials you should use. Origami paper, or kami, is usually colored on one side and white on the other. It varies in a lot of different sizes, and it can come colored on both sides if you'd like. Usually, kami is much lighter than copy paper. I personally use copy paper because it holds the creases a lot better. Heavier weight paper is used for wet folding. Some different tools you can use is something as simple as a flat surface to make your creases on. You can use paper clips to act as extra fingers when trying to make a different fold while something else has to be folded. Tweezers can be used to make tiny little folds if you're making tiny little designs. And like I said earlier, heavier paper can be used for wet folding, so obviously water can be used as another tool. Using water, though, makes it a completely different type of origami, called wet folding. Wet folding makes gentle curves rather than sharp edges, so that way your product in the end looks a lot more natural. When it dries, it'll also keep its shape. Kirigami is the Japanese term for paper cutting. Certain parts need to be cut to finish the project. Like here we have a net, where you can see where all the cups have been made, or a pretty shell. Some kirigami isn't as obvious, like in my parrot, where this is where the small cut has been made so that this can be folded. Action origami is origami that needs inflation to complete it, or it needs a person's hand to move certain parts, or even something like a paper airplane. It can't fly without my hand. Or it needs to be bent like a catapult. And some things are as elegant as a crane flying. Modular origami, though, is a lot harder than the rest, at least to me it is. It uses multiple pieces of the same design to make one big model. Like this one. I used small bits of paper to make this spinner. This spinner, though, acts as both modular origami and action origami, because in order for it to spin, you gotta blow on it. Now that you know some of the different kinds of origami, I will make something for you all. And usually a bell is rung at the end of a school day to signal that it is over. So, since this is the last speech of our class, I am making a bell to signal the end of our class. And as I said earlier, a table is usually a good flat surface to use to do the folding. I am not the kind of person that can do it in the air. That is a lot harder to do than it actually sounds like. And ta-da, a bell. So that's origami. I talked about the meaning, the different types of origami, my favorite website, the different tools and materials that can be used, and then I made this awesome little bell to signal the end of our class.